I was thinking about that, like how much, could we be like seeing vaccines,
Exactly.
from the
Exactly.
Amazon right now?
Amazon is, to me, the Amazon is one of the greatest resources on earth for biodiversity.
Yeah, and I think
And
we don't know more than like 30% of
no,
it.
no, we don't know anything. And not only that, but the people who live in the Amazon, we're destroying their environment, that they know and they love.
Yep, and all the animals and
Oh yeah, it's just crime upon crime. Hey, Katie,
What's
hey, what up,
going on,
baby?
Raul? How you?
I'm good, man.
What's going on, Flavius?
Chilling.
So,
We just
Katie, I heard that or I read that you had a 9-year battle for your child.
Yeah.
Oh man, that must have been rough, dude.
That was crazy. It was crazy.
Unbelievable.
All for it to culminate in the end for it to say, okay.
Oh, unbelievable. People play with their families too much. Like there's just there's no end of the pain.
and it's like, was your child like almost not a child anymore by then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were definitely teenagers.
And that's his own challenge, right? They don't need any more shit on their table.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, being a teenager in America is kind of fucked up.
I had ran into the judge that presided over my case at a restaurant. I was out eating.
Oh.
He happened to be there. And I approached him and I was like, off the record, I said, can you give me some type of advice on what I should be doing here? Because, this is insane. And his response to me was, off the record, don't have a baby with a woman in New York State.
Oh man.
Ouch.
You said that?
That
Wow.
fathers have no rights.
Wow.
Trust me, I'm for. I was raised by a single mother, so I'm for women's rights, but not to the extent that it damages the relationship with their father. My mother, even though she didn't get along with my dad at certain points, when she divorced him, she never talked bad about my dad. Always encouraged me to talk to my father whenever I wanted to. And that's really my mom did the ethical thing. Very
And that's how my mom was.
Yeah.
That's
And that saved my relationship with my dad too. So I'm very grateful.
Yep. Very, very, very grateful for that.
The wisdom of mothers, right?
Yep. And she always told me, she said, my interpretation is my interpretation. You have to get your own interpretation.
That's right.
So, she never stood in the way of that. And, as I got older, I understood why it did not work.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no. When you get older, you realize your dad was kind of a,
Yeah, right.
My dad was not easy to take at all. He's not easy. Let me tell you something. Grumpy old Cuban from the old country. Oh my God, he is a nightmare to deal with, like as a personal level. But he's actually a very good, hardworking man. But I'm kind of dogging him a little bit. But he's also tough to deal with. So I can just imagine.
My father's a successful man, but we also have children the same age.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. So dad was a Rolling Stone.
Yeah, So,
yeah.
He's still rolling.
He's still rolling. Yeah. So the car's in the shop, if you know what I mean.
Right. I mean, he's more settled down now, but.
Yeah, but that's just age, man. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is, Right.
So it's kind of crazy, but yeah, that was definitely a hard time, man. That was man, and that was at the time when I had first got diagnosed with MS.
Oh, it's tough news, bro.
So I was having to travel like, because they had lived in the city, so I had to come down to the city.
Right.
You know, on Greyhounds and stuff, and I'm on a walker.
Oh no.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm just getting my walking back right. You know what I mean? Because I was paralyzed for a while.
Oh no, man, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's how I
So
found
you had
out.
to come. You had to come all the way down to the city in the midst of that.
Matter of fact, I called you one time when I was down there, but we never got up.
Okay. I remember.
As soon as the case finished, I got back on the Greyhound and just went straight back to Buffalo.
I remember you saying something about that. What year would this have been?
Man, that would have been like, they had to be like 6 and 7 then. So that was probably like, man, Mike, that was probably like 17 years ago.
17 years ago.
Damn, that's a long time.
Yeah, about 15 to 7. Yeah, about 15 years ago. About 15 years ago.
Oh, that would have been when I first got down here.
Yeah, that was when you first got down there.
Yeah.
So what was the impetus for you leaving Buffalo, Flav? Just curious. You don't have to answer.
You know, I had lived in Buffalo for 9 years.
Right. Where were you from originally? Ghana? You said Ghana was when you were a child. And then what happened?
No, I was born in the Bronx.
Oh, gotcha.
Born in the Bronx, raised in Syracuse, upstate New York.
Right. I heard Syracuse is nice.
I mean, I don't know. It depends on what you mean by nice. I mean,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, if you're older, you know, you probably want to settle down in an area like that. But, you know, for young people, we get up out of there. And it was the same for Buffalo. I was there for 9 years. You know, I met a lot of great people like KD and Ish, but I wanted to move to the big city to check that out. And I was also doing music. And I also had a job that allowed me to, you know, transfer. So I got up out of there. I reconnected with my biological mother.
Sweet.
I took over her place.
Oh, you did?
So I had a place. Yeah. That's when I lived in Flatbush. That's how me and Bash met. So the day I met Bash, I was like moving my stuff in, and I saw him like sitting on the steps, and I think he had like maybe a notebook in his hand. He might have been writing lyrics or something. And that was you know, like I told you, that was kind of a hood spot. So, you know, there would be guys like, you know, smoking trees in the, you know, on the steps inside or whatever.
Right.
You know, kind of like that whole nine, like a hood, you know, like a real hood spot. But you know, the day I saw Vash, he told me he had helped my mother move some of her stuff, and she had seen him writing lyrics and told him about me. And so next thing you know, the first day I met him, we recorded later on that night because I wanted to show him I wasn't a bullshitter just talking a good game. Because at that point I was, you know, I moved with my boy Andy, or he moved like really soon after I moved. And we recorded the first day. And, you know, built a friendship and did a lot of music after that. But yeah, so that's how I came into New York. So around 2005 to 2007, I was in Flatbush.
Yeah,
nice,
you were on
nice.
that time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was in Harlem for 2 years, 2007 to 2009, when Obama won, and you know I would come home off of 125th Street, so like, you know, I walked past the big celebration they had, like Dougie Fresh and them out there, and you know, thugs hugging cops, and like everyone just in love with each other, and I'm like, man, this is what like the 60s must have been like. Like, I don't know, this must have, I was trying to compare it to something like maybe when the Vietnam War ended or something, like.
Yeah, probably.
I had never seen people so happy. Like, just random strangers. People were crying and happy, and it was like euphoria. Like, I was bugged out. Like, I could have swore, I mean, some of this is going to sound crazy, but I could have swore I saw a train going down the street. Like, on the street. I don't know I don't know if somebody had set up some kind of trolley or if it was just
I see what you mean.
so crazy that I was hallucinating, but like it was like wild. It was like the end of an 80s movie where people are randomly like, you know, doing backspins and breakdancing on the screen.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Wild. And then
like
after
the short circuit era.
Yeah, the short circuit, weird science, all of that. Like the movie where the popcorn comes out of the house at the end.
Oh, Real Genius.
Yeah, Real Genius. Like all of those movies.
I love those movies. I love those movies.
And then after that it was Bed-Stuy for like a handful of years, and then Bushwick for a handful of years, and then that area, I always forget the name of it, but it's like that one was only for a few months, like at the edge of like Brownsville and Crown Heights. There's like a certain name for that area over there. But yeah, I've been in a few different spots.
Now, where you at now?
I'm in Sunset Park, Brooklyn.
Sunset Park, okay.
Yeah. Kind of like the other side of Brooklyn, going towards south. So yeah, Joey, I don't know what's up with him. He said he might be busy all day. I'm not sure, so
okay,
probably can't really do any type of script with just the three of us.
Yeah. We can just chat. That's fine with me. Yeah, if Vash wants to come on and talk about it, man, you know, that's good too. It's good too. We don't have to record.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I feel bad he's going through that, man.
Yeah, terrible. I didn't have the words, like I'm not Damien or anything, but you said something good too, KD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was saying that you know, he has to realize that he's thinking logically.
Yeah.
And he's fighting against emotion.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So his attacker is emotion. And he's thinking logically. So he has to understand that and not lose his instinct and let his instinct fade to where he's just doing irrational things.
Right.
Or reacting irrationally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally know what you mean.
You know, he can't, you know, that's why I was saying his wounds is going to hurt because his attacker's emotion. So his wounds is going to be emotion. He going to get into his feelings. I'm basically telling him, don't get into your feelings.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, that can change the situation drastically.
Yeah, and logic will provide you a way out. Emotions will just dig you deeper into the hole.
Absolutely.
I have problems with depression once in a while, and I've realized that self-maintenance is the most important key. You need to take care of yourself because you can't help anybody unless you take care of yourself.
Right.
True. Speaking of which, Tuvok is one of my favorite characters.
You Star Trek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though that show is still boring to me, I do like Tuvok.
Oh no, you're gonna fight the crowd on that one because people like that show on this show. Now for me, the Tuvok is the best thing out of that show, but I don't mind the rest of the show. I just find it a little cheesy some of the storylines.
Yeah, I mean Star Trek is like that in general.
Yeah,
it's all got some cheese to it. I think the least cheese is the Next Generation.
Oh no, have you seen Picard?
Oh, that's true.
Picard is pretty serious, pretty
no, that's true. I forgot about that. That's true. Yeah, and even the new one,
Discovery.
Yeah, the new one is pretty good, except for when they had Dwight from The Office on there. That was That wasn't too good.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't like that too much.
That's like when they randomly throw Chris Rock on a serious show. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
So yeah, this new episode I saw was really good. And this guy's got some bona fides. He's written on a bunch of those shows. The guy I was telling you about. Him and I don't know if it's his wife or his sister, but it's a good show. And then I was getting into the time when Sulu almost had his own spin-off show. It looks like they saw an episode of that.
George Takei.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were saying how he never got the shine he should have. Kind of once Chekhov kind of came through. He
right.
Like took his shine.
Yeah, I've heard that. Although I met Chekhov in a convention, he was perfectly nice to me. Super nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't his fault. It was like the writers,
it was just the writers and the agents, the whole machinery of Hollywood.
Yeah.
But the guy I can't stand Star Trek lore is William Shatner. What a jerk.
Yeah, that seems to be a generally known thing.
Super jerk. And the guy that I loved out of the original cast was Forrest Kelly, Bones, and he was always a nice guy to the fans, always.
Bones, okay.
Even though he played a cranky old bastard, he was actually a really cool guy.
Cool.
And he didn't put up with Shatner's bullshit.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they said Shatner was a jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to one convention and he was charging $500, I swear to God, so that you could be at a party with him. That's it.
What?
$500 to be at a party with Shatner. That's about it. I was like, no, thank you. Never.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's robbery is what it is.
Yeah.
Holding people hostage because of their fandom.
Extortion with your celebrity.
Absolutely. That's a much better way to put it.
That's something else.
Hey, what about the girls? What about Emily and Cynthia?
What about them?
Oh, you want? If we're going to do the script, maybe we can get them to play some of the female parts.
Yeah, I already told you. I don't know what's up with them.
I'm sorry. Changed. You did.
That hasn't changed. Listen, guys. Like when I put this stuff out here, it's not like I asked 2 or 3 people, right? Like I'm asking as many people as possible.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't mean to question you. I just curious.
No, it's all good. It's just like it's just kind of like we're running into Captain Obvious City here. I'm asking as many people as possible. But no, I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up with them.
Sam, she has something to do.
Oh yeah, Sam and that's
talked
right.
to her mother or something like that.
Yeah, Sam and Emily had something to do, and Cynthia is a wild card. She's like the chances of her being able to come on, even though everyone fought me on this last time. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Cynthia's always on." Every time we're on, I'm like, "Okay, I'll let that fly," but that's not true. The chances of her being on are kind of slim, and then especially if Sam's not on.
Sam is her friend. How you met her?
Well, I met her through Nyberg, not necessarily through Sam. Just all kind of like they worked. Some of them worked there before I did, but I was still friends with mutual. They were just friends with friends of friends. Yeah, friends of friends in general. Of the organization and stuff, and of friends.
That's what's up. So Flav.
Yeah.
How many times did they call you James Harden?
Who? Just in general?
Yeah, in general.
Oh, I've gotten it a lot. And I traced it back to when he started, because I remember when I first started getting it. It was probably right around the time he started. So I want to think it was probably when I moved to Brooklyn. I didn't hear it before then. When did he start? Like around 2013 or something? Or 2011?
Yeah, like 2011.
Okay, yeah, I started getting it around like when I moved to Bed-Stuy, which was, you know, I moved there around like 2009 and stayed there for like 5 years. Yeah, but I've gotten that a lot. In some places more than others. I hardly ever got it when I was in Connecticut for some reason, but everywhere else I got it a lot, especially when I would get like a fresh cut and like, you know, the beard would be lined up and then I'd have like the mohawk going. But I was always like, for some reason, I never had any women say that to me.
Never?
No, not once.
Who did they say you look like, Flav?
James Harden.
From where? What's James Harden? I don't recognize.
Basketball player.
Oh, gotcha. No, I don't watch basketball. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
No, my sport was boxing a long time ago, and
In
so
the
I kept up.
The Tyson era.
Well, I was a boxer. I was a boxer for 2 years when I was a kid. Before I did any other martial arts. But you
used to watch it as well, right?
I loved watching boxing. It's just something I shared with my grandfather.
Was that like during the Tyson era or what era?
Tyson, Holyfield, Evander, all up until I think about a couple years ago. Then I realized that unfortunately it was controlled by the mafia, the heavyweight circuit.
Oh, okay. Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis is a great champion, but he dodged a lot of good competitors during his time.
You know, I remember he fought Tyson, right?
I believe at the end, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him being like a great champion, but like actually watching the fight, and I was like, wow, he's like very methodical, boring to watch, but like great at his craft.
Yeah, he is. Englishman. I think that's why.
The pugilistic Punisher.
Yeah.
That's like the same thing with Mayweather. He's not like necessarily exciting to watch. He's just very good at what he does.
No, the most exciting was like the old style. Who am I thinking of? Larry Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Holmes, because he was a big guy with long arms, and it was a perfect way to kind of build your box. Because he could just hit you, and you couldn't do anything. You were too far from him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone was more exciting than Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson was a powder keg.
I remember I went to the bathroom one time.
I met Tyson too.
Okay. Where?
You've seen him in person then?
Yeah, he's a little guy.
Better.
He's a little guy, not physically little, but he's tall, very tall. And
he's not tall, but he's wide.
He's wide. He's a big, wide man. He's kind of built like me, but smaller.
What's he like, 5'7"?
He's like 5'6", I would guess. 5'5".
Yeah, 5'6".
Oh wow, that is short.
But he is a broad dude. You would not mess with this guy for anything.
Yeah,
And he was super nice to me. He like grabbed my, oh, hello, Raul, you know, that sort of thing with his little voice. Yeah. But you know, super nice. He patted me on the shoulder. I felt like he almost broke it. You know, he was so strong. And I'm not like a little girl, right? So like I'm shaking his hand like a man, and he's crushing my hand, and I'm
wow.
Oh my God!
Wow.
And he doesn't mean to, right? That's the saddest part. I also met the champion, Muhammad Ali, and he was unfortunately very gone by the time I met him, but it was still an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still an honor, yeah.
Guys, I'll be right back. You made me hungry, Flav. I have to get something.
I know. I'm sitting here thinking like, yo, where can I go snack on?
Exactly. Great minds. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. I'll be right back, bro.
So I didn't end up checking out too much of when you guys were on live the other day. What were you guys? What was the show?
Well,
on?
they were talking about something called Ackee. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it.
I heard them talk about it before.
Yeah, it's something that they're kind of obsessed with. It's
kind of a controversy.
It's a controversy. It's a guy who collected money to make a fan film, and he's never made it ever, and he just continues to bilk his people out of money.
Is that what they call a grifter?
Yes.
Because people were accusing Sean King of being a grifter, and I didn't know where that was coming from or like how true it was.
I don't know either. I don't know who Sean King is.
He's like a, I don't know if I call him radical. He's a black activist, and he always brings up the issues of like, you know, things that are going on racially and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, some people on the left were talking about him, saying that he basically the same thing, like saying, I don't know, some anecdote about him collecting money for him and his family to do some kind of mountain climb and like not actually doing the climb and keeping the money or something. I don't know
Right.
about it.
That's kind of common though in today's society. We have a lot of people living off of others, and living the high life too, not just subtle, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always a little skeptical when it's like a leftist black activist that's being critiqued or criticized that way, because I just often feel like there's other political motives there, and not to say that people on the left would necessarily have those same motives, but they might fall victim to the same messaging, even if it's coming from and even if it's coming from the other side, you know.
That's true. I got inspired by you a little bit. I took my I took some celery and some peanut butter from the other day, and I'm eating that.
Yeah, that crunch is, you know, you're eating something good and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
People were telling me how carrots are supposed to technically be better for you when they're cooked. But I'm
really?
I'm not gonna lose the satisfaction of eating these raw, crunchy vegetables.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
By cooking them.
I'm not a big fan of like steamed carrots and things like that.
Yeah.
Not a big fan.
Yeah, you kind of lose all the excitement.
I had carrots in the salad I ate not too long ago, and they were like baby carrots, so for me even better because they're a little sweeter.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. And when you make juice out of those, the juice is pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last bag I got, it's hard for me to tell, like, if it was just the carrots were especially dirty, or if also, you know, some of them were going a little bit bad. I was like, you know, maybe I'll just stick to the 99-cent bags, which were doing me fine.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I all of a sudden went with a $2 bag, and I was like, well, I'm going through like, you know, 4 of these bags in like a few weeks, so I might as well get a $2 bag. But there's no advantage besides just cutting down on the plastic itself, because it's a $2 bag instead of a $1 bag.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean.
Like, but it's not like they were giving you more volume, like more bang for your buck. It was just $2, twice the amount of carrots, but a lot more dirt. So I'm like, and then some of
not
them
worth it.
Yeah, some of them weren't crunching as well. So I'm like, yeah, I kind of.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, it is. That happened to a bag of apples to me the other day, and if it wouldn't have been as annoying as it would have been, I would have actually tried to take them back.
Right, right. But
instead,
I hate returning. My mother is a queen of returning, but
yeah.
I hate it. I can't stand asking people for the money back. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, for me, it's not about getting the money back. It's like I'm gonna want more apples. So for me, it would have been trying to do an exchange, but it's still annoying. It's like you're gonna walk to the store with this half bag of apples, then you're gonna like try to explain yourself, then you're gonna wonder if they're going to like honor it or not, and then you're gonna have to explain how you've eaten half of the apples and try to tell them, well, some of them I ate were actually good, some of them I ate weren't that great, and when I realized there was nothing left but not great ones, here I am.
Right.
So then I tried to juice them, and you heard me
even worse.
Well, if you heard me complaining the other day.
Oh, that's right.
Our blender doesn't work, which I always kind of say a little bit quieter because it's not actually mine.
Right.
But there was my bright idea. I was like, well, that's okay. You get lemonades, you get lemons, you make lemonade. So
that's right.
You get soft apples, you make apple juice, and even that didn't work. So then, not to be totally deterred, I cut up the apples. Took the slightly crunched apples, which were not mixed at all, in that blender, cut them up, put a little bit of oil in a pan, and ended up doing like some like tofu on one side and like some slightly like fried.
And how did that work?
It was okay. It was like look, I salvaged it, but it was actually interesting. Like I think it was actually better once I mixed the two. I think side by side was like okay, but once I mixed the two, it gave the tofu more variety, right? Almost like a scramble kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like doing a hash and something else kind of thing where you mix, mix some potatoes, some eggs, and whatnot. It was good.
Now, do you eat eggs? I was going to ask you.
No, that's why the tofu was kind of like.
Oh, gotcha.
Put some turmeric in there, and if I remember to buy onions and like some garlic, some ginger, try to do a little tofu scramble.
Neat.
What's interesting is some other countries have vegetables that are very eggy in nature. One of them is called what's this called? It's a Caribbean thing that they put in. They put it in like these little breads, like these little pockets.
Yeah.
Starts with
From what country?
Like Jamaica.
Jamaica. Okay.
And it was quite eggy, and they chopped it up with a little bit of oil and mixed it with vegetables.
I'm trying to think. I'm from the Caribbean, but I've never heard of this because I'm not from that country.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking you might not. You might or you might not.
One more minute.
Okay. And see, it's oddly not listed here anymore. They're not listing their patties here anymore. Oh, it was like the patty was so good. I was like very surprised. It was like $6. I was like, okay, that's
fair.
I was like, that's I'll definitely buy it. It's more than patties usually are, but I'm like, it's still in the fair price range. And then I ate it, and I was like, oh, that's more than fair. That's like the best patty I've ever had.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah.
I tell you,
Oh, Ackee. It's called Ackee.
Oh, Ackee. I know Ackee.
You know Ackee?
Yeah,
From Jamaican food or?
Yeah. From Jamaican food.
Yeah.
In Miami, we had a lot of Jamaicans, so they
Okay.
set up restaurants and kitchens and stuff.
Would you agree with me that it has kind of like an eggy texture
I'm
to
trying
it?
to think. It's been.
It probably depends on how you cook it.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember what I had it with. Jamaican food is usually very spicy, so it tends to bury the taste of a lot of things.
Yeah, and this one wasn't very spicy. This was earlier, so it was actually still considered breakfast. So it was instead of being in a patty like they promised they had, it was ackee and mixed vegetables, and it was still great. No complaints here. The ackee and mixed vegetable was wonderful.
We're about to come on to our break time. I'll see you in a minute.
Oh yeah. Couple minutes. And also some callaloo. But yeah, there's that, and then Ghana and Nigeria have one too. That's also a very eggy kind of thing.
Okay.
But see, to me, it's like interesting because, like, like some meat eaters or people who eat both, which is kind of funny that there's a name for people who eat both meat and vegetables, as if
omnivore.
Yeah, as if someone would like only. Well, I guess there's animals who only eat.
There's animals like chimpanzees are omnivores.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Most, humans are pretty much omnivores, but but there's an African dish, but it's kind of like almost as if like, hey, like if you want to go vegetarian, like nature has tons of options, and like a lot of omnivores complain like, oh, you're trying to make that taste like meat. It doesn't taste like the real thing, and it's like, no, there's tons of things in nature which do a pretty good job of their own. On their own,
and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's on purpose. I'm not sure that I just think it's a great coincidence that we have great options in vegetables and roots and fruits and things like that to cover for the meat taste that we've grown to consume.
Yeah, I mean, some people do try to make things like some people. Honestly, they just reminisce on when they used to eat, and so they like having things that remind them of what they used to eat. I'll never understand people who are like, "Oh, well, you might as well eat the same thing then." I'm like, well, if you're in it for the animals, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Right.
Or if you're in it for like even the health, it often doesn't. But it's always a weird. I don't know. People get like upset, when people like
things they don't understand, my friend. Things they don't understand.
Yeah, but there's also a cognitive dissonance there of I think they feel guilty for their choices.